Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. This month we are focusing on yoga sculpt. So I have 3 different sizes of hand weights. Collect whatever you have at home. And what I have done is placed one of each weight on the right and left side of the top of my mat. So this will be the top of my mat. I have a chair here to help me with a little bit of balance if needed. And then I have each set of weights, one on each side. That way when we come down, maybe get into a lunge, your weights will be easily accessible right here on either side of your mat. Let's start with a little bit of tai chi to warm up, and then we'll begin to focus on strength training. So I'd like for you to take your feet really tight together. If that feels okay for you, you can also separate them slightly, and let's stand really tall. Lengthen through the spine. Pull your shoulder blades back. Rotate your palms forward. And on an inhale, we'll just start to sweep the arms by bending, and then on your exhale, press down. So what we're just doing here is a circular action at the elbow, at the forearm. Upper arm is not moving. The shoulder blades are firmly in place. Begin to ground your mind, your body, coming fully into the present moment. And one more rotation right from the elbow. Then we'll start to implement a bigger movement with the arms. So we're coming up, not all the way, and pressing right through the center. And I want you to start to check in on your shoulders today. Notice how they're feeling, or lifting your arms up through a pain-free range of motion. And one more, circling out, pressing down. Then pick up your right knee slightly. Take a little step on the diagonal out toward the right and bend your knee. Then push away and step back in. Then we'll pick up this left knee, step out on the diagonal, lead with your heel, push, and come back to center. So I just want you to focus, no arms right now, just getting this movement with the legs, starting to focus on balance. So when we move forward, our balance is a little bit better. It's when we push back that it's more difficult, because that's not as functional as what we usually do in everyday life. Going at your own pace this morning. Now, as you lift up your right knee, you'll circle the left arm, just as we did. Step out and push the arm. Lower it down by your side as you step in. As you lift the left knee, circle this arm around. Take a step and push. Step back in. Now, both arms will circle around to the left side as you pick up the knee, and brush the right hand right across this thigh and push forward. Then lower the arms back down. Circle both arms to the right, pick up the left knee. Extend, brush this hand across the knee, push and lower down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, circle, brush, and exhale. Let's Let's do 2 more of these to each direction. Slow meditative movement, very mindful. One more each side. This is great for our balance, our proprioception, our body awareness. And separate your feet, wide Wu Chi position. Bend both knees. We'll inhale to lift our arms halfway up. Exhale to turn to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, lower the arms down as you straighten your legs. Lower down, arms lift. Rotate left. We are going to be doing this action today with our hand weights once we get into our yoga sculpt. So I just want you to notice how this feels for your arms. And anytime you want to do the movements without weights, absolutely fine. If you're feeling any pain at all in your joints, just do a nice range of motion without using that extra resistance. Now with a side bend to the right. And lower the arms as you straighten your legs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more each side with your side bend. Checking in with the lower back, the hips and knees. And lower down. So we'll turn toward that top edge of the mat, take a step forward, come into mountain pose, and we'll sit into chair and let the arms sweep forward. As we rise back up, let your arms come behind you, and you're pressing your palms towards each other like you're hugging a big beach ball behind your back. And then we'll sit down into chair. Arms raise any amount. Rise up, open up your chest, and push into an imaginary ball behind you. 3 more. And just breathing wherever it feels right for you, adding an inhalation and an exhalation with the movement. Last time. And then we'll bring palms to heart center. Inhale to stretch the arms up any amount above the head. Exhale to sit into chair and twist to your right side. So you're looking over that right shoulder. Inhale back up. To the left, we twist. Really important as you twist that you keep your knees parallel facing forward. So try not to let your knees shift and your pelvis to rotate. One more each side. And inhale up. Exhale and swan dive into a half lift forward fold. And this first time I'm going to place my hands on my chair. You can also place your fingertips on your shins. And a half lift gives us a nice flat back, so it's level with the floor. Knees are bent slightly, tailbone is lifted behind. Take one more breath here. And exhale. We'll step our left foot back, warrior one position. Rise up, reach the arms up, stretch. Place your right hand on your right hip and do a little side bend over to the right side, opening up that left hip flexor. Nice and stable through your feet and through your core. And then reach that right arm back up as we stretch and inhale. Exhale, lower your arms down by your side or reach your hands behind your back. Come into a chest expansion. Release that stretch. Palms come to your heart. And we step forward into your mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward bend. You can take your half lift again with your fingers on your chair or your shins. Or this time you can come deeper, reaching your fingertips closer to the floor. And this time we'll step the right foot back, rising up into your warrior one stance. Reach and extend. Hips are squared, shoulders as well. Left hand comes to the left hip, and we stretch over to that left side. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, arms come by your side or behind your back into chest expansion. Great stretch for the chest muscles, the shoulders. And then release that, step the back foot forward into our forward mountain pose. Now we need just light weights to start. So we can soften the knees, reach down to your mat. I'm picking up my 3-pounders. We'll step the left foot back into that warrior one position again. Bring the arms forward on an inhale. As you exhale, twist to the right and let this right arm open out. Come back to center. Exhale the arms down. Come back up with the arms, no higher than shoulder level. Rotate open. Come back center and lower down. Any pace you'd like to go. So your left arm is staying right where it is as we're opening the right arm. Coming back to center. Let's get 2 more repetitions for 5. If the weights get heavy, this can be nicely done without any workload. Last one. And then we step that back foot forward. Take a moment, pause, pull your shoulder blades back, stand tall. And then we'll step the right foot back into that warrior one position. A little bit of a turnout with the back foot. Inhale the arms forward. Turn to your left, let that left arm open. Come back to center and lower down. This is a nice challenge for our balance as well. You'll notice when you twist, get a nice stretch through that right hip flexor. So the hips are facing forward, and as you twist the torso, the front of the right hip lengthens. Looking for 2 more repetitions. Great shoulder work here. And it doesn't take much weight to work the muscles here in this slow, mindful movement. One more time. And we'll step that back foot forward into your mountain pose. Bring your weights to your chest. We'll do the next movement a couple of times. If you need heavier weight, then you can make a switch. So we'll press the weights up above the head any amount. Then as you sit into chair, rotate to the right side. So we did this without weights prior to this. Now we're just adding some workload as we move from side to side in our twisting chair pose. Working the shoulders as we press above the head. Working the core as we rotate the torso. Working the legs as we sink down into chair and rise up. Again, you choose when it feels best for you to exhale, when it feels best to inhale. Typically, we breathe in when our body's expanded, and we breathe out when we contract and shorten the body. So that feels pretty good for me to inhale as I reach and exhale to rotate. Let's take one more on each side, to the right and to the left. Then breathe in, come up, sink right down to the center, our regular chair pose. And then start to fold forward to gently set your weights down, one on each side of your mat. And step your left foot back into a deep lunge behind you. Now your left hand can be on the mat. You can place a block underneath that left hand, and we'll twist open to the right and really send your gaze up. A nice stretch. Back knee can always drop down to the mat if you prefer this stretch here. We'll take 2 more breaths in our twist. Now this right hand, we're going to grab a weight. Again, either your light weight, or you can go up a little bit to a medium weight. Grab that in your right hand and pull your elbow up. Extend your arm to straight. Bend your elbow, and then lower your hand down toward the floor. Now I'm gently supporting myself with the left fingertips on the mat, but my right leg is really working to stabilize my body. And we go slow. This is our kickback row, working the upper back, back of the shoulder, our tricep as we kick the arm out to straight. And let's get one more repetition on this side. And set your weight down to the mat. Step your back foot forward, back into your forward bend position. Inhale, come all the way up. And relax your arms by your side, or take a chest expansion stretch. And just notice, I'm feeling a lot of work in my right quad from holding that lunge. And then we'll inhale to sweep the arms back up. Exhale to swan dive into your forward bend. This time we'll step the right foot way back behind into a nice low lunge. Right fingertips on a mat or a block, on your mat or a block. And we'll twist up and hold this rotation. So I'm just kind of up on my fingertips on my right hand, which allows me to use my core to hold this position rather than kind of dumping into my arm bones to hold myself up. And let's lower that left hand back down. You'll collect the appropriate weight for our exercise. Pulling the elbow up, straightening the arm behind you, bend, and lower down. So you're going at your own pace. I'm not specifically counting repetitions. So if you feel like you want to go a little bit quicker, as long as you're controlled, you can do that. Just focusing on good alignment, core connection, and your breathing. And check in with your right leg. Make sure it's really straight unless you're setting your knee down to the mat. Now my chest is slightly touching my left thigh because we're pretty deep in this lunge, but try not to relax your torso onto your leg. Stay lifted by firing your back muscles. And let's get one more together. Release that weight down to the floor. Take a step forward with your back foot. You might need a couple steps to get back up to your forward fold. Inhale, rise. Let your arms come beside the body or a chest expansion stretch. Wow, my legs feel a little bit wobbly after that. It's beautiful. One more breath. And release the clasp of the hands. We'll inhale to stretch up. Exhale and swan dive into your forward bend. And again, we'll take the left foot and step it way back. Then reach for 2 hand weights. I'm grabbing my 5s. And rise all the way up to a lunge. Now you can have your back heel down for more of a warrior 1 position, or you can turn and lift that back heel for more of a balance challenge. We've got a bicep curl. Single arm overhead press. Other arm. Then release the bicep curl. Both arms curl. One arm at a time presses. Both arms lower. Curl. Press. Two more repetitions gives us 5. One more. Curl. Press. Press. And lower down. Reach the weights down to the mat. Push back to a down dog. And you can also place your hands on your chair and do a down dog here. Less pressure on your wrists and nice stretch. From your down dog, glide forward into plank. From the knees or toes, hold 5 breaths. Think about your shoulder position, your head position. Draw your abs in and up. The breaths are slow. 2 more. One more. Then push back up into your down dog. Lift your hips and start to walk your feet back toward the top of your mat, or you can take a little jump if you like. Come back into your forward bend. Soften your knees. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, swan dive back down. Step your right foot back this time, way back behind you. Plant that foot, grab your weights, rise up. Back heel can be down or lift the heel for more of a balanced challenge to high crescent lunge. Both arms curl. Single overhead press. Both arms release. Now, if you have a shoulder issue on one side and it's painful to push above the head, you can do a little small one, just so you get some activation of the shoulder. Again, taking your body through a pain-free range of motion. 2 more for 5. Once you have your 5 repetitions, release those arms down. Come back toward your mat to set the weights down. Push yourself back to downward facing dog. Drop those heels and stretch. Inhale forward to plank. From the knees or toes, hold 5 breaths. So really check your plank. Sometimes the plank looks a little bit more like a down dog. So drop your hips down so your body finds a straight line from the crown of the head all the way back into your heels. Or if your knees are down, that straight line goes to your knees on the mat. 1 more breath. And press back up to your down dog. Take as many steps as you need to bring your feet back toward the top of your mat. Forward bend. Soften your knees, rise up. Inhale. Exhale, hands come beside your body or behind your back, chest expansion. 1 more breath. And release. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive down into your forward bend. Now we'll be doing a muscle group that we can do heavy weight with. So as we step our left foot back behind us, pick up your heavier weight. So I have a pair of 8s. And as you come up, turn that foot and come into warrior 2. All right, hold that nice warrior 2 position. And we'll take an upright row here. So your elbows go out to the side. I'm going to quick turn around just to make sure you can see the action of my arms sliding up and down. Good warrior 2 position. Working the shoulders and upper trapezius. Find your abdominals, really brace. Elongate your spine. 3 more. And 2. Last 1. And then turn your body back to the front. Reach down toward your mat. You can even use your chair to set your weights. Push yourself back to downward facing dog. So our next exercise, I want to show you a level 1 first. We can drop our knees down to the floor. We'll extend the left leg back, your right leg, and then pull your knee in toward your chest and round your back. So this is our level 1 option for this exercise. More advanced, we do that from our downward facing dog. So we're up, the right leg lifts, we glide into plank and pull the knee forward. Then extend back up. And we're staying on the right side each time. With the breath, inhale to extend the leg, exhale to pull the knee in. One more time. And then either coming back to down dog or all fours, or take a child's pose for a moment. And then from your down dog, take as many steps as you need to come back to the top of your mat, back into your forward bend. Soften the knees, inhale, come back up. Exhale, swan dive back into your forward bend. This time we're stepping our right foot way back, grabbing my heavier weights, pulling them up, and then turn the body into warrior 2 position. And we'll pull up, upright row. So as best as you can, the outstretched leg should be nice and straight. It's up to you how much of a bend you put into your front leg. For us, it's our left. With the weights, no higher than the center of your chest with the weight, no higher than the shoulders with your elbows. 3 more. Exhale. 2. And 1. Turn yourself back toward the front of your mat. Reach forward to place your weights. Push back to your downward facing dog. All right, level 1, your knees come down to the mat. We'll extend your left leg straight back. Inhale. A little bit of a spinal extension. Exhale and pull your knee in and round your back. Level 2, start that from your down dog. Lift that left leg, inhale. Exhale, glide your shoulders over your wrists into plank and pull that knee in toward you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to contract. Pull the abdominals in. We're creating a little bit of a curve in the body like a cat. Two more repetitions. And coming back either to all fours, down dog, or child's pose. And then we'll all let our knees find the mat. And take traditional child's pose balasana and bring your arms next to the sides of your body. Relax your shoulders and your wrists. Two more breaths.
And we'll take our time to come to a seated position.
If you need a little bit of a cushion on your mat for your tailbone, you can place that and sit. Moderate hand weights, light to moderate, one in each hand. We'll sit tall. Bring the weights right to the shoulders. Now we'll take the body and lean it back on a little bit of an angle. Push one arm forward so it's coming on an angle, not directly up to the ceiling. The other arm presses. And then we sit the body back up. So it's up to you how far back you go to work the core, pressing the arm up at any angle. Now for a little bit more balance and core, as you press the right arm up, your left foot will come off the mat. So I have opposite hand and foot. Then switch. Then come up. Really brace your core. So as this exercise is a progression, you can take any piece of it out and make this feel right for you. Now the last thing I'm going to add is a little bit of a twist. So as you go back and reach your right hand to the left foot, turn that direction and then turn the other side and come up. This can be nicely done without the use of weights for a wonderful core exercise. Let's get two more. One more time. And come up. Relax your weights to the floor. Open up your knees into butterfly and stretch through. Relax your lower back, your inner thighs. Now from here, transition to laying on your back with your heaviest weights. So you can take them with you as you go back. Just hug them to your chest, or if you need your hand to guide you back, then you can pick up your weights once you get down onto your back. So with the weights touching one another at the level of the chest, we'll come into an A press. So we bend our elbows, the arms go wide, then we press back up until the weights touch. So the weights are wide at the bottom, narrow at the top. This focuses on our pectoral muscles as well as our shoulders and triceps. Level 1, both feet are on the mat. Level 2, knees are in tabletop. Level 3, as you bend your elbows, single leg extension forward. Close it back in and switch. Now you can also do the single leg extension from your feet on the mat, which is a nice option, so one foot is always on the floor. If you're doing those single legs, we have 4 more, 2 on each side. One more on each side. Your feet can find the mat. The weights will come down right on your hip creases. So I'm just holding them right where my hip bends at the hip joint. This is extra resistance as we come up into bridge and lower down. So I've got 8 pounds on each hip. So I'm lifting up 16 extra pounds with my glutes and hamstrings. I'm just using my thumbs to kind of brace the weights there so they don't move. But again, that extra workload is just an option. You can set those weights down. As you lift the hips, tighten the backs of the legs and the glutes. You're coming up any amount. Now we'll lower down, take a brief rest. Bring your feet a little closer together, almost to touch. Come back up into your bridge. And we'll try to lift the right foot off the mat. Set it down. Left foot lifts off the mat and set it down. I call this a marching bridge. And you're marching your feet at any pace. Ideally, your hips never lift and lower here. You're up into bridge. You're stable in your bridge as you march your feet. If the extra weight's too much while you're marching, just set those next to you. Try not to use your hands down on the mat. Boy, that makes a big difference when I set those weights down. Let's march twice more on each foot. One more each foot. Then lower down from your bridge and hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg down to straight. And you can keep your head and shoulders on the mat, or you can curl your head and shoulders up and slightly lift the left foot off the floor and reach the arms forward. Little crunches. Fingertips can also go behind your head. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay your head down, hug that knee back into your chest. Extend your leg up. If you have your yoga strap handy, place it under the bottom of your foot. We'll take a brief hamstring stretch here. This is great to do after the bridging we just did to really elongate that hamstring muscle, to release any tension. One more breath. And place your right foot down to the mat. Hug your left knee into your chest. Then slide your right leg all the way out to straight. This is going to help release the hip flexor here on the right side. You can stay as you are, or curl your head and shoulders up off the mat to tighten your abdominals. Reaching the arms forward and small crunches. Four, 3, 2, 1. Lay the head and shoulders back down, hug the knee in, and slowly extend the leg up Lengthen your hamstring. You can use that yoga strap. Slow breaths. And then we'll come into a rotating abdominal crunch. So both feet are down onto the mat. Fingertips are behind the head. We'll rotate one elbow toward the knee. Come back down and switch. If you'd like a little bit more intensity, your legs are up. Then we rotate. And take this slow so you really feel those obliques working. 2 more each side. And then release back down. Set your feet back to the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left and pull your knees up into a figure 4 stretch. Now you can use your hands to pull in, or you can actually use the bottom leg to push the top leg forward. We can also lift our head and shoulders up off the mat. Small crunches here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lay the head and shoulders back down and relax. Switch the cross of the legs, left ankle over right thigh. Bring your knees up. You can either use your hands or press the left leg up by pushing with your right leg forward. We can stay here and relax, or to work the abdominals, come up and crunch. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the head. Lower the legs. Then come to either tabletop or legs up the wall position. So we'll move our ankles pointing and flexing. This is going to help us to squeeze the blood from the capillaries and the veins in the lower legs and help them move themselves or move that blood and lymphatic fluid back toward the heart. Flex the ankles and hold. Now you can stay here, or the last time we have the option to add the crunch, reach up, up. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your head, hold behind your knees, bring them in toward your chest. Then we'll prepare to come up to seated. So you can roll over and push yourself up, or rock your body forward and back until you have enough momentum to bring yourself up. And then just come to a nice, easy cross-leg pose position. You can also sit in a chair, sitting tall. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, cross the right arm on top of the left. And you can squeeze in, hug your body in close, or wrap your hands into eagle arms.
We'll pull the elbows over to the left and look over to the right. Come back to center. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, cross left on top of right. Either hug in or wrap into eagle. Elbows pull to the right as we look to the left. Feel that nice gentle stretch right behind the shoulder blades, into the neck. And come back to center. Inhale, open the arms and reach. A side bend over to the right, elongate the side of the waist. And inhale, back up. Other side, exhale. And inhale. And exhale. We've got one more twist on each side. So the left hand comes across the right knee. Look behind you. Sitting really tall through that rotation of the spine. Keep your body turned to the right, but take your head and look to the left for a spiral twist. Come back to the midline with the head and the body. Then reach the right hand across the left knee. Left hand reaches behind and twist. Keep your body turned to the left. Take your head and look right. Align your entire spine back to the neutral line. And we'll finish with one more breath together. Inhale to reach. Press the palms and exhale, thumbs into the heart center. And the joy that resides within my heart honors the joy in the hearts of each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Yoga Sculpt Mind Body Blend practice. If you can stay on for a minute with me, that would be great. If not, I'll see you on Thursday and hopefully Friday as well. And check your emails in the next couple of days for my notations about the month of August. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy a wonderful Tuesday.